So look, I haven't talked to you since you put a ring on it.
I put a ring on it. Yeah.
What? What? Talk to me about this whole new love life and this woman you got that made you like swap. She's isn't she a reporter?
She's a television judge, actually. She's an attorney.
I was like, I've seen
a very
her on
accomplished
television.
Television judge. She is a beauty, like a Miss America pageant, second runner. I think they call it first runner-up. The second ever Black Miss Louisiana, and really smart. And I would have never, the circles I was in, I would have never met her.
You don't think so?
You know, I don't think we would have ever met.
So then how did you meet her if you weren't in that circle?
Well, it ended up being, mutual friends eventually, but it felt like it was a long distance kind of thing that where it's like the person was not super close.
Is that the beauty right
that's
there?
Her.
Somebody said, oh, that's Judge Faith.
Kenny has faith. Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun because it had been about 10 years since my last, and because I lived it so publicly.
Yeah, you did.
And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I believe that, God has a purpose for us, and the message was always love, relationships, giving people information that would help their relationships.
Yeah.
And even though I went through a transition, I think it actually made me stronger.
It had to have.
And it made me more knowledgeable about what love is and what it isn't.
Yeah.
My own immaturities at times that I've had to grow through. And I spent about 6 months, I'll never forget, my dad used to live with me and help me with taking care of my son when I was on the road. And I went to, he went on a vacation and had a fall. He had some different things happen. And in his healing, he went back east because we're from the East Coast.
Right.
But live on the West Coast. So when he went back east to heal, I was home for like maybe 6 months. And it was unusual for me because I was like, wow, I'm in this house now, by myself. It reminded me of, before I ever had kids, before I ever got married, before any of that. Right. And I had to deal with Kenny. Who are you? Are you okay with you? Do you even like who you are in this space, And I had a good time. I really did.
By yourself?
By myself. It was almost like the last bit of healing that I needed to be confirmed in my life before I could even go into another relationship, because I always wanted to make sure that if I was going into a new relationship, I was bringing happiness. I'm bringing wholeness. I'm bringing, the things that my relationship is going to need.
We never check ourselves.
We don't. Oh,
we
no.
never check ourselves.
Yeah,
like, what
we just
are
go
you bringing?
But what am I bringing? And that's really the position I have to be in, because ultimately I'm a servant to her. And I like being a servant to her because I know she goes. I know what I'm gonna get back. I know what I'm gonna get back. So it's like, so it really makes me happy because when I see her smile and when I see her, that's my partner.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since I've had a partner. I've been doing it by myself for a minute, and raising the son and all of that, and administrating his life and all. It was hard. It was a lot of hard work. And that is not to take anything away from his mom. I'm just the administrator of my son's life.
Right.
So this process has been really powerful and very beautiful, and I love it because I was watching you and Keith.
I'm so happy
earlier.
for you.
So yeah, some of the things that you guys were saying was just so on point, and the love languages, and there's so many things that you want to.
So tell me this: what we're talking about, what you bring to a relationship.
Yes.
What will you do differently in this marriage that you think you probably learned from the last marriage?
When I started out my relationship in my last marriage, I think I wanted everything to be perfect almost too much, where I kind of walked on eggshells in the beginning, and I just wanted her to be happy in a similar manner that I want Faith to be happy.
Right.
But the difference was, I don't think I was always upfront and honest. And maybe the fear was, if I really say what I'm thinking right now, this is going to be over.
Right.
And what I learned was to just bring the truth. Bring truth and authenticity at every single stage. And
the truth don't need no help.
It doesn't need any help. And then in addition to that, I needed to make sure that while we were dating that I brought that truth.
Oh, wow.
We went to pre-engagement counseling before.
They got pre-engagement counseling? What is that?
Yeah, pre-engagement is, see, when you get engaged, pretty much you know what you want to do.
Right.
You know that, I want to be with this person. I think that what's going to happen is we're going to get it. It's a lot of pressure if you're already engaged and then you're in premarital counseling.
Yeah, because the pressure is to get married, and then you're already engaged. Everybody knows. You have the party, and then you go to engagement and be like, "Oh, we don't believe in that. It's embarrassing."
Yeah,
I got it.
But if you answer some of those hard questions before you even get to engagement,
who holds pre-engagement therapy?
You know what? You can ask pastors. We went to a really great pastor, and we just started going through the process. He recommended some books for us to read, and we would have these meetings and check in, and he'd be like, "So how do you feel about this?" You got to ask questions like, how do you feel about kids again at this age?
Right.
How do you feel about where are you going to live? In terms of city, how do you deal with family and involving family into your life? It's so many little things that we take for granted, and we think, it's going to work itself out because love's going to conquer everything.
Yes.
And it just doesn't. It just doesn't.
But you just told us there was no Santa Claus.
No. But preparation does.
Yeah.
I think preparation does, because then you can find out, are we really compatible? Do we have the same core values? And when you check that out,
somebody like that.
Yeah. And when you realize, okay, we do have the same core values, it makes you feel like, okay, I'm comfortable committing, because it's like a lot of times women are like, what made him say yes, or not him say yes, but ask.
Yeah.
And it really is, if he's taken the time to go through the process, if he wants it, first of all, because a lot of times people don't want the same thing.
That's true.
So it's really about, again, being honest. And then the preparation is understanding all the things that marriage is and isn't. And it takes other people's experiences.
Yeah.
So
speaking of family, how is she and KJ?
Wonderful. She was, Faith was his summer school teacher, if you will. My son had an interesting year where he needed to take some classes, and he had a rough summer schedule because he's also a football player. And she's an academic. It was something that was natural for her to say, she's like, I teach my niece and nephew, and they're in college, they're freshmen in college, and I help them study for their exams and stuff. And I was like, whoa, like my timing is real good. So she came in and she helped him to get great grades through the summer. Now, she's, again, a very smart woman. So after that, it was like, okay, she needed to pull back from that, because the other thing we did not want was for him to just see her as, this is my dad's girlfriend, and she's like my teacher, and because then the relationship can develop in an odd kind of way. Yeah. So she was still there to support, and I believe he respects her tremendously, and he just thinks it's dope. He's like, she's gonna be my stepmom. She's gonna, he's still wrapping his head around that, conceptually.
And so, will there be a wedding, Kenny?
Yeah, I want whatever Faith wants. I've done this before, and again, I have no regrets from that. But when I went into this situation, I was like, I want you to have everything, the whole fantasy.
Is this her first marriage?
This is her first marriage.
Oh, wow.
So I'm looking forward to whatever she wants, laying it out. If it's going to be the big show, it's going to be the big show. If it's going to be something small and private, it'll just be,
You good.
That's my problem. I'm good. Either way, yeah.
More babies?
I'm even open to that. When you got the right partner, you can do anything, And that really is the thing for me. I feel like when you're carrying, again, those same core values and understanding and approach to parenting, that's what you learn about in pre-engagement.
Okay.
You talk about that kind of stuff. Are you going to spank the babies? Yes, I'm going to spank the babies.
That's what my mama would say.
It's all of that.
Kenny, we are live and interactive. So
yes.
Lisa is on the phone and she wants to talk to you.
Okay.
What's up, Lisa?
Hello.
Lisa.
Hi.
Hi.
I am calling because I just wanted to say I really love your music.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I've been listening to you for years.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate that you stay authentic to your classic sound. So I really appreciate all you do, and it's good to see that you're happily married.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm receiving the prophecy.
There it is.
Yes. Amen. Yes.
So the New York Times called you the modern soul man. What is that about?
What
is the modern soul man?
I think that because I come from a traditional background, I grew up listening to my parents' music. Barry White, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Aretha, artists like that who are the real soul legends.
Solid soul singers, yeah.
So I think that with me emulating their tradition, it puts me in the category of the new soul. I think they didn't want to say neo soul because neo soul at that time described a particular sound.
Yeah.
And we give credit to D'Angelo and Maxwell and some of the other artists that helped to really promote that sound.
Right.
So for me, I think that there was some kind of mesh that they were trying to just figure out, how can we really describe him, because I'm really not quite like them. I definitely have the traditional background, but I grew up singing classical music. So it was classical and jazz, R&B, and the pop and gospel. And I kind of mixed all the things.
I've been trying to get you to sing classical for me for the longest. I'm like, you will not do it. Kenny will. I love it. So you have a new project in the works. Big people on this project.
Well, really, it's really other people's projects. I decided to record 4 completely different projects as a guest. One is Najee. We have a song called Better that is out now from his album. Next, I think, is going to be Boney James. We have a song called Be Here that's coming out. I did Frida Payne's album. We did a song called Let There Be Love.
Wow.
I mean, the orchestra and everything, so I got a chance to do my jazz stuff and traditional. And lastly, there's a gospel singer named Myron Butler out of Dallas, and we did an Andre Crouch tribute where I was able to lend my voice to that. So it's kind of like, in this particular time, I got to do all of these wonderful genres that I love without the pressure of it being a Kenny Lattimore album that I have to go out and promote.
But now, Kenny, can you, look, we know you as this soft, sultry, singing R&B crooner. Can you get down on some gospel? Like, can you like put your foot in some gospel?
You know who I used to love in gospel, and I think I can, but my approach is still different. Daryl Coley.
Yes.
Anybody know Daryl?
Yes.
Because Daryl Coley had the classical background as well. So when he approached anything, when Sunday comes, all my fears gone. He would approach it.
Yeah.
Soon.
I hear all those notes. Yes.
Gets here, but then at the same time, he would shout it all. He'd go all the way up. I would listen to that and be like, how is he doing this? Now I cannot do Daryl. I cannot stay right there because that wasn't my gift completely.
But you did
because
it.
I studied and listened to that, I was like, I think I can do a little something here and there. And whatever it is my praise to the Lord. So
how many times, we're talking about your wedding.
Yes.
How many times have you sang for you at weddings?
Wow. I just came back from singing. Oh.
Did you really?
I just came back from in Jamaica singing. I get great calls like, can you get on the plane tomorrow and come? I'm like, yes. But it's pretty amazing.
Can you count how many times you sang for you at a literal wedding?
I really can't. I think I should go back and
Has it been over 30 times?
Oh, way more than that.
Over 100?
Yeah. I don't know if it's been 100 because one thing that I did do was I tried to make myself just accessible enough where we did celebrity weddings all the time. I did Leela Rashawn and Antoine Fuqua's wedding. I sang for Vanessa Williams and Rick Fox when they were together.
Okay.
I did Carmelo Anthony and Lala. It was a fantasy of Lala's since she was 17 years old. She said, I'm going to have him at my wedding, and there I was.
There you were.
And but then there are people who can't pay the money that Carmelo Anthony or whoever can afford, and I still try to do those every so often, but not to the point where I can be devalued.
Where you're the wedding singer.
Where I'm the wedding singer,
right.
Yeah, because it's like it should still be very special. But some people have come to me and they said, I really want you to sing at my wedding, and I don't have X amount of funds, and it's like that's fine. I can't commit to it 6 months out.
Right.
Because then if I come up with a show and the show is paying me X amount of dollars,
I got to go.
Yeah, I got to go. So,
yeah.
But a lot of times, I think God in his in his love for people and the love for marriage just allows my schedule to be just right. And I can go in and bless somebody.
You do love love.
Absolutely.
You do love love.
Absolutely, I do.
That's one thing I
and I'm not on a crazy fantasy thing about it, like where I just want the superficial of it. I really am about the depth of it because I believe in it. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And it's in me.
Yeah.
And it makes me live and thrive knowing that I have a love to give.
Because I tried to hook you up a couple of times with a couple of my friends. I tried.
I didn't
come through. I didn't come through, Kenny.
See,
I didn't come through.
I was like, all right, Tammi, she probably was like, he don't mean that for real. I was like, yeah, bring her on.
No, I was like, I don't know, Kenny kind of good. You know what I'm saying? I got these ratchet ass friends, Kenny. You know, they gonna break your heart. I gotta think about this real carefully. I'm like, if I bring Kenny somebody, they got to be real and ready.
That's a good friend.
Got to.
I appreciate it.
But you know, my favorite, most people's favorite song from you is For You.
For You, yes.
Mine is Never Too Busy. And the last song, I don't forgot the name of it. What's the last? I love the song. On Your Mind.
Oh, Stay on Your Mind.
Stay on Your Mind.
Yeah.
Repeat, repeat, repeat. Love that song.
Thank you so much.
But tonight you're gonna sing something different.
I want to sing something brand new since we're on a new show.
Okay.
And this is a new year. This is the song that I did with Najee. It's called Better. And I love the lyric because it's really about, you know, in spite of everything that you go through, it keeps getting better. As long as you hang in there, you compromise and redefine things and realize that every test brings you to a better place.
This is not on your last album?
This is on Center of the Heart, and Najee is nominated for an NAACP Image Award this year. It's on this one.
Better was also on your album, but it's not, huh?
No.
Okay.
I did Deserve, maybe the title is similar to another.
Are you going to sing to Faith if you have a wedding?
That's a good question. You know what's really weird? I feel corny singing. Like,
I think it's corny, but
I love it. And so it's like, it would be great to have somebody sing.
But if she wants it, you know what I'm saying?
If she wants it, I would sing.
You gotta sing.
I would definitely sing to her. Yeah.
Well, sing to us right now. Kenny Lattimore!